Gemini, Pluto is transiting your ninth house of Aquarius for the next 20 years, bringing you so much possibility for expansion in your higher house of knowledge. And this is particularly influential for you because Pluto makes a trine to your house of self, bringing positive energy, good luck, and good karma. In this video, I go through this with you, as well as the first few transits while Pluto is in Aquarius. So stick with me as I break it all down for you in this video. Welcome, beloved souls. Welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Vivía, and this is my channel, Your Soul's Well, where I use astrology to help us navigate our shifting and exciting and sometimes turbulent world. I want to remind everybody, like the content I'm creating and you want me to create more content for you, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and remember to hit the notification bell because I am uploading regularly and I would not want you to miss an upload. Let's have a look at your chart. All right, Gemini. So here's Pluto in your ninth house here, Gemini. This is generated for November 19th, 2024, when Pluto first ingressed your ninth house. Now, the ninth house is all about, it's our higher mind, our beliefs, our spirituality. It's the house of higher education. It's the house that deals with foreign travels, foreigners, different cultures and languages can be found here. It is also the house that deals with legalities. It also deals with our spirituality, our belief system, and religion. So with Pluto in this house, expect changes in this area of your life. So as Pluto is going through this area of your chart, there is great potential here for expansion of your knowledge and of your mind. You might be drawn to all sorts of different studies now, such as philosophical pursuits, or philosophical studies, different diverse studies into different cultures or languages. You might decide to study abroad, but definitely you will be transformed in this area by Pluto moving through this part of your chart. Whatever you decide to study, there definitely will be a heightened energy around learning. Pluto brings with it this powerful energy, but because Pluto is such a profound and impactful planet, the things that you take on studying and learning at this time will have a large impact on you from you taking these new ideas and keeping an open mind. As you deepen into your learning, some of you may be expanding your world view, and you might be coming into your transformation through this deeper exploration of truth, as this transit facilitates a huge expansion of this worldview. You will be drawn to a deeper exploration of truth and what is truth and what that means for you. And as you understand these things more deeply, you will have a deeper understanding of and sense of yourself and your place in this world. You might be on the journey of becoming more spiritual, as you gain a stronger sense of yourself through whichever area of study you choose to pursue and however you choose to enlighten yourself with Pluto moving through this house. Be prepared to be introduced to unconventional ideas, because new ideas and information will be introduced to you that will also contribute to your growth and to a sense of freedom. Some of you might find that relocating to a completely different place, a very foreign and unknown place, will bring about the best growth, the most positive growth and opportunity. Since this is the house of publishing, some of you may be writing and publishing important works that contribute to the collective, and you might gain a reputation or be seen as an authority through this publication, through your writing. Because Pluto is a powerful planet, there might be problems with ideologies and clashing with other people's belief systems. Both Pluto and Aquarius deal with themes of authenticity. Pluto likes to strip us down to our authentic core to get us to that authentic core. And Aquarius deals with our own individual nature and expressing through our authentic nature. So Pluto going through Aquarius in your ninth house is going to have you searching for your higher truth and spiritual meaning of who you are and your an expression through that authentic self. And it might lead you as well, this transit, to have a radical belief in your own authenticity, in your own power. This transit may lead you to radical authenticity of your own belief systems and what that means to you. and stripping away all of the beliefs that no longer serve you, are no longer aligned with the higher vision of who you are and the path that you are on. Now I'm going to go through some dates. This is the first one I want to go through. The first opposition of Mars to Pluto, although Pluto was not yet in your 9th house of Aquarius, and Mars was still here in your 2nd. That was the first opposition here, November 2nd. And the second one was January 3rd of this year, just a month ago, of 2025. Mars is in retrograde in your 3rd house here of Leo, and now Pluto is here in your 9th house of Aquarius, and Mars was in your 3rd house but in retrograde. So both of these incidences, this one on November 2nd and this one on January 3rd, I would like you to reflect back and remember if there is anything that happened. Mars and Pluto in opposition like this can be very confrontational. Mars can be very impulsive. So if there was any type of confrontation or anything that came up for you, again, in this 9th house, perhaps of your belief system and maybe with one of your siblings, because that is the 3rd house, or some form of communication, because that also is your 3rd house. And look back, because we're going to have this happen one more time. On April 27, 2025, Mars again opposing Pluto. So it's just another opportunity. If there was some type of confrontation or impulsive behavior, perhaps a blow up, some of you perhaps with your siblings or in your immediate community, maybe with a close friend, this is another chance to basically have the same situation come up again and not necessarily react the same way. That's one of the ways that we can look at these moments when planets come in contact with each other over multiple times. The next date I want to look at is this date, January 20th of 2025, where the sun is up here in your 9th house, making a conjunction to Pluto. They conjuncted actually at 1 degree of Aquarius. Now, this is important because this sets off a synodic cycle that will happen once a year every time the sun is in conjunction again to Pluto. So the sun likes to illuminate and bring energy to things. So it's bringing energy here to your 9th house, your higher mind. It's also illuminating here Pluto. So it could be illuminating beliefs that are no longer working. Pluto can be about corruption. And perhaps some of your beliefs are rooted in falsity or corruption. Perhaps there's somebody in this higher house, maybe a teacher that you have or a guru. This would be that house that is found in. Perhaps light being shone on behavior that is not empowering or authentic, a little bit shady or underhanded. That would be an energy like this, but it's also a very empowering energy, which can set off a whole year for you of this synodic cycle, a year that is illuminating something in your chart here of empowerment, of taking on your power, of stepping fully onto your path in that power, as it applies here to your 9th house of higher education and learning and philosophy. But if your ascendant here, or if you have your sun or your moon here, is at the early degrees of Gemini, then Pluto right now is already trining it. And so again, that brings harmony and benevolence as there's a trine happening between these houses. The next date I want to point out is Neptune ingress into Aries on March 30th. So it's right here in your 11th house. This happens shortly after the spring equinox. So first the sun will come in here on March 20th at the Aries point, and that sets off the spring equinox. And then Neptune comes here at this point. The next date is this date, May 25th, when Saturn ingresses here at the Aries point at 0 degrees. Now, these are all important. First the sun, then Neptune, and then Saturn does it. And this is a cardinal point, and it's considered the point of creation. It's important for us all collectively because it's symbolic of really a rebirth for humanity. It's here in your 11th house, and these ones in their early degrees will be sextiling Pluto here. So this is benevolent energy coming into your 1st house from both Saturn and Neptune, and also here from Pluto. So Saturn likes to give structure, and Neptune is a planet of dreaming and mysticism, and it tends to dissolve. But in Aries, we might see a lot of artistic endeavors, and with Saturn there, it might be bringing form to these artistic endeavors. It is here in your 11th house. So this is your house of groups and friends and communities and your larger audience. So creative energy coming in here for you within this larger audience, as well as your higher money house is here. On June 9th, Jupiter will ingress Cancer, and that's here in your 2nd house. If you would like to learn more about Jupiter ingressing Cancer, please go listen to my video on the notes, as there's a lot of information there that I gave you. But essentially, this is good for all of us because Jupiter in Cancer is exalted. And what it's primarily doing is really helping out this house here, your 10th house, what the node is in. But at this point, Pluto and Jupiter are in conjunction. And that means it's a harder aspect because there are things underneath the surface that need to come up to the surface. It's a harder to access energy. And it's in your second house of how you make money, your own money, as well as how you resource yourself and your own self-esteem and your self-worth. So Pluto, this planet that works very much on the subconscious up here, perhaps some of the beliefs that you're changing are beliefs about yourself, beliefs that have to do with your idea of self-worth, as well as your own ability to make money on your own and be independent and stand on your own that way. On July 7th, Uranus ingresses into Gemini. So Uranus will be in your house here quite a long time, several years. So that will be complete. Both of these planets are disruptor planets. So that will be really coming through this house, really changing things up for you, changing up your identity, changing who you are, changing your viewpoint. This is a trine that is happening here between Pluto and Uranus. And if you look at this date, August 13th of 2025, they're really in trine at this point because they're just 1 degree away from each other. So this for you could be sudden insights into your beliefs, into your spirituality, into learning new subjects, perhaps traveling afar, because Uranus affords us this flashes of insights and instant downloads. Pluto is here in Aquarius, which is also the higher mind and thought patterns and our higher consciousness. So you might have some real breakthroughs with being able to access higher levels of consciousness and download information at these points when Uranus and Pluto are in trine to one another. On September 1st, 2025, Saturn will retrograde back into Pisces. You can see it's here in your 10th house at 29 degrees. And then on October 22nd, 2025, Neptune will follow and retrograde back into Pisces as well. So then you'll have both of these planets in your 10th house until February of 2026. So not too long, but they'll go back one more time in your 10th house to finish up the business that was started there. This is a really interesting date on July 18th or 19th, depending on where you are. There are 4 planets here, all at 4 degrees. We have got Pluto at 4 degrees of Aquarius. We've got Neptune at 4 degrees of Aries. We've got Gemini at 4 degrees of Uranus. We've got Jupiter at 4 degrees of Leo. And then the moon actually will move into its 4th degree very briefly. But these planets all here are really in harmony with one another. Pluto is sextiling Neptune. Neptune is sextiling Uranus. Uranus is sextiling Jupiter. Jupiter and Neptune are in trine to one another, while Uranus and Pluto are in trine to one another. So a couple of trines and a whole bunch of sextiles, plus this opposition here to Pluto. And then don't forget, of course, that the moon will move in and be sextiling and also trining, but then opposing Neptune as well. So this is going to be one day. All right. What a curious day. This will be lots of energy here. And with Pluto and Jupiter in opposition, this could be a moment when something really is magnified here, either here, perhaps with a sibling or some type of communication, or perhaps if you work online, perhaps if you have a blog or you do some type of online work in the 3rd house, deal with communication, media, and online work. So there might be something coming that is being spotlighted and really amplified, because that's Jupiter tends to exaggerate or expand whatever it comes into contact with. And it's coming into contact with Pluto in your 9th house of beliefs and spirituality and philosophy and your higher mind. And Pluto is a planet that can show us everything that is not working. And it can show us this sometimes by showing us where there lies deception and where there is underhandedness, or the things that are under the surface waiting to be brought up to the surface. So just be aware of that and be on the watch out for that. On July 27th, 2026, the nodes shift. The North Node will move into your 9th house, where it will be with Pluto for a year and a half, and it will come into contact here with Pluto and conjunct it towards the end. And the South Node will move here into your 3rd house of Leo. And there's just one more slide that I'd want to show you, and I'm going to, well, it's the same slide actually. This slide here, between 2026 and 2028, Pluto here in your 9th house and Uranus here in your 1st house will be in a trine on and off between 2026 and 2028. So again, just this energy, it's really like this high impact energy coming in. These are both powerhouse planets. And so it's influencing your first house here and your ninth house. So really, some of you are going to really be able to reach and attain higher levels of consciousness that you've never been able to achieve before. The thing with Uranus is that it comes in sudden and quick. It could be kind of ungrounding and untoward if you've never experienced it before. And with Pluto, but Pluto is the planet that over time, if you work with it, can help you have it be profound and lasting change. Some of the challenges of Pluto in this house, remember this is your house of legality, and Pluto does deal with underhandedness and things that are not above board, so to speak. So stay on the up and up. Stay very authentic in your dealings. Do things ethically so that you're not the one that is getting into legal trouble or being dragged through the court, because that could happen with Pluto in your ninth house. You could face some deep and serious legal problems. So again, make sure that you're keeping things ethical and you're doing your best to stand in your authority and your authenticity. You'll need to remain very open-minded with Pluto going through this house as it completely starts to deconstruct all of your previous belief systems. Maybe some of you are coming from some really rigid beliefs or religions. Some of you have encountered negative aspects of cults or religions, and Pluto will be bringing this up for you to look at and for you to shed yourself of this and move on so that you can pursue a higher faith for yourself that is more in line with the person that you are becoming as you evolve on your path. It's going to be also, remember to not to resist the change that Pluto brings. Don't resist your growth. Do not resist what's coming up. Try to work with Pluto. Try to understand the lessons that it brings by surrendering to it and surrendering to growth and allowing yourself to change by embracing growth. Again, Pluto in your ninth house could be spiritual leaders who do not have your best interest at heart, who can be manipulative and dark and underhanded, but they can also be really powerful spiritual teachers. They could be, you yourself might decide to, so you might attract this. Pluto is magnetic, and you may attract to you some very powerful spiritual teachers that will help you on your path. And you, through this transit, might become yourself a very powerful spiritual teacher. If that is what you desire, the path will not be the same for everyone. And we each have a lot of say in how our paths go. Just remember to stay with an open heart and mind as you pursue this path of higher learning in whichever avenue you choose. Just remember also to question things. It's time to really question your beliefs and any beliefs that are given to you so that you can get down to finding the truth. It's really time to embrace travel if you've never done before, or if you have, for some of you, it will be a time to go exploring. And for some of you, it might be studying in different locations, and it could be with different cultures that you've never explored before. All in all, Gemini, I think that this is going to be so fantastic for you. Very exciting, actually. Lots of energy in lots of newness and lots of opportunity here, especially with that trine to from Pluto to your house of self. With Pluto having just gone through your eighth house of your house of psychology and resources, you can bring that knowledge now into your ninth house and stand unshakable in trusting your own power, trusting who you are, and having that empowerment for yourself, knowing that it is yours. And remember that Pluto has a lot to do with our fears. It has a lot to do with anxiety. It has a lot to do with things that are hidden and our insecurities. So like all of us, you will have to face those fears head on and do what you can to strip them away so that you are standing again on your solid ground of trusting yourself and moving forward in your authentic expression. Well, my beloved Geminis, that's what I have for you. Pluto through your ninth house. I hope that it has been helpful. And if you haven't already watched your nodal shift sign, I'll link it here for you to watch. So please go watch that. Thank you for watching this video. Stay blessed, beloved Gemini, and I will see you on the next video.